to the channel. Before I get started, I wanted to ask you a personal question. How do you take off your shirt? Do you grab from the back and lift over your head? Or do you hold from the front and lift up? The reason I ask is because Mazda offers you two ways to get topless in the MX-5. The RF, which I've owned for the last 3 years, and of course the traditional soft top. And thanks to the guys at Blue Mountains Mazda, while my car was getting serviced during the week, I had the chance to potter around in a brand new ND soft top to see whether I've been missing out on the full convertible experience. The reason I say it like that is because if you spend any more than 30 seconds on an MX-5 forum or Facebook page, you'll see that people who own the soft top tend to believe that the RF isn't a real convertible, or that you're somehow missing out on the convertible experience. So what are the differences between the two? Well, if we have a look at how the roofs operate, the soft top is just a simple latch that you unhook and then fold the roof back, all very simple. When you want to bring it back, simply just lift the latch in the center console, bring it over your head, clip it into place, job done. You can do this at any speed, I assume, if you're strong enough, and it's done in mere seconds. The RF isn't exactly difficult. You just simply hold the switch in the center console and the roof takes 13 seconds to go up and down, and you can do it underneath 10 kilometers an hour. Unless you happen to buy a smart module, in which case I think you can increase it to around 20 or 30 kilometers an hour, whatever the case may be. But let's break it down into a few categories. So for me, the RF is a clear winner in this regard. I think with the roof up, it looks brilliant at any angle. You just can't argue that the RF just looks stunning. They've nailed the design. It looks like a sort of homage to a 240Z or something of that era. For me, RF, hands down with the roof up, looks amazing. The soft top to me just looks like it's tacked on. It's just not my style. Roof down, that's a tougher call actually. The soft top has that classic roadster shape at any angle. I do agree the RF can look a little bit awkward at certain angles with that rear buttress section remaining in place. For me, this might be line ball, but probably has to go to the soft top. A gripe that many bring up with the RF are the blind spots. So when you go to change lanes, here in Australia we drive on the right hand side of the car, the blind spot over your right shoulder is actually really pronounced. You have to lean forward and look over to see what's there. Looking over to the left side, it's not as bad, but there still is quite a blind spot you need to be aware of. Just means you need to learn how to drive the car and be aware of your surroundings. It's nothing bad, and you certainly get used to it pretty quickly, but it is there. Especially when we compare it to the soft top where it's just a 360-degree uninterrupted view. You can see all around the car at any time, so it makes changing lanes an absolute breeze. One of the biggest debates about each car seems to come down to wind noise and road noise in general. With both roofs down, I found that the soft top was actually a bit quieter than the RF, up to around 80 to 100 kilometers an hour. This can be attributed to the rear buttress section that does happen to catch some wind, and whilst people seem to really dislike how much wind noise there is in the RF, I personally don't think it's anything over the top. Maybe I'm just really that deaf, I'm not sure, but to me it's not as intrusive as some may lead on. However, the soft top definitely is quieter at 80 kilometers an hour or under. Once you get over 100 kilometers an hour on the highway, to me they're basically the same. There really is not much difference at all. With the roofs up, there's a huge difference. The RF is a much quieter cabin, especially just pottering around at normal street speeds or sitting at a set of lights. The amount of noise that comes through from the soft top is really noticeable compared to the RF. So when you're at highway speed, roofs up, the RF, it is a lot quieter than the soft top. It's certainly not luxurious or Rolls-Royce spec or anything of that nature, but it's definitely a lot quieter. And then once again, when you're just pottering around, as I said, the RF is much quieter than the soft top, which almost feels like you've left a window open or something like that, or there's a hole or whatever. I found myself continuously flicking the window switches to make sure that I hadn't left the window down. It's just a lot of noise will come through to the cabin. Now, in saying that, you're not buying an MX-5 for luxurious Bentley-esque wafting along, so you know what you're getting yourself into. But if we're going to compare both models, it's worth noting that there is considerably more noise in a soft top than an RF. So not surprisingly, the RF remains my favourite iteration of the MX-5. To be honest, driving them along, I really didn't feel like I've been missing out on the convertible experience, having now had the chance to spend some quality time in a soft top. The rear section behind my head really doesn't make me feel like I'm missing out. And also with that section gone in the soft top, I didn't feel like I was any more open to the elements. The road noise of the soft top I think really would detract from the experience for me personally, especially with the roof up. However, for some people that may not be an issue, or it may be a weekend car only that only gets brought out when it's sunny, so the roof is never on. Who knows? If you're going to take them to the track, the soft top probably is the better proposition, because if you really get heavily into track work, you can put in a roll cage and that sort of a thing a lot easier than you can with the RF. So really there is no wrong answer, and whichever one you buy is going to be the right answer. So if you're watching this thinking, well then how do I decide which one to buy? Perhaps it's just going to come down to this, the toss of a coin. So let's say heads is the soft top and tails is the RF. Which one's for you? As always, thank you so much for watching. If you've enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you like the soft top or the RF, which one would you choose? Let me know down in the comments below. As always, I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you in the next video.